Hello everyone, my name is Scousmouse and welcome back to another sneak peek at the upcoming nether update for Minecraft, which will be version 1.16. This is Snapshot 20w13a and we have a new mob, as you can see by this gorgeous little chap called Steve I'm riding, and we've got a new block and we've got a couple of other changes as well which are gonna be epic when this update finally comes out. I am so excited, and I'm also excited to share all this with you guys, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we obviously need to talk about are these gorgeous looking chaps and chapesses here. This is the new peaceful mob in the game. This is a strider, and striders love to walk along the top of lava, and these guys love warped fungus. As you can see, they will follow me around when I'm holding it, and if I give them both a little snack, they'll have a little smoochy smooch, and we end up with a gorgeous little baby one. I give him some food, he's so cute, but obviously they do look a bit miserable with that frown. Come on guys, turn that frown upside down. And with these guys as well, we can use these, as you saw, to navigate across lava lakes and the like. And the way we do that is we get a saddle and we throw it on there. But then if we just sit on it, as you normally would, we are going nowhere fast. Similar to when you sit on a pig. Rest in peace, my good mate Glenn. Now, in order to get these things to go where you want them to go, let's remove this here, you are going to need a warped fungus on a stick. And when you get one of these, similar to a carrot when you're riding a pig, it'll just go whichever way. Look at that little chap having a little dance over there. Go on, sunshine. He's excited about this snapshot as much as I am. He's having a ball. Look, he's having the time of his life, Kurt. You're going to be sick. You're going to be sick. Thank you. Right, sorry about that. So, it will just go wherever I point this thing. So, the one thing you do have to watch for, especially at the moment, I'm in a soul sand valley. And soul sand valleys mean there are lots of ghasts. If I was in survival, then obviously I would have ghasts everywhere. And when you're right, see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them there. I would not want to be having them firing at me while I am riding one of the... Wow! Gee! Cut me up! Didn't signal or anything. And the noisy ghasts as well, aren't they? Anyways, when you're riding one of these things, for the love of the wither, do not press shift. Do not try and make yourself run. If you do that, you're in the lava. Now, are you looking at? Right, obviously, because I am in creative here, I am not burning, but if you were, you'd be in a world of trouble. Another thing that's quite nifty with these chaps, you can come on land with them, but see the way he's shaking? Let's just jump off him here, and you'll see, when they're not in lava, they shiver. They're all shivery. Look at them. Go on, back in the lava now. If you're not holding anything with warped fungus, they will just walk back into the lava and have a little warm up, or you can whack them like I did. Right, let me clear these guys and the ghasts off my platform here, and we'll talk about what else is new here. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the respawn anchor, which we saw in a previous snapshot. Now this is used, let me just get these things out here, to set your spawn point within the nether. And the way you would do that would be to charge it up with a piece of glowstone and then click on it, and it sets your respawn point. Nice and simple. The difference being here is if I put a dispenser pointing into it, fill that dispenser there, and I'm so unprepared because I've not got a button. Let's throw this button on there. You can now charge these things up with a dispenser with glowstone in and press a button. So that will save you having to walk around with loads of glowstone or keeping glowstone in a chest and stuff. You can just hook a dispenser up and then you can, you know, charge it up and keep the dispenser full of glowstone instead of having it on you. I imagine clever people will figure out how to get this to work, so as soon as it loses a charge, it puts one back in. I haven't had time to play with the redstone too much at the moment, but hopefully that's something we'll be able to figure out. Instead of having to press the button, hopefully there will just be a way to do it all in one. Another thing they've changed here in the nether is how we get the soul speed enchantment. Now, we actually get it the same way, by giving gold to these beautiful piglins to barter with. Give them gold, they will look at it for a minute, and they will throw down a trade for you, a barter, and they have made it now so the chances of getting soul speed boots or books is now much greater. It was quite rare to get before, but they've made it much easier to get those items. I'm hoping I get one while I'm studying chatting to you, but no, they're just looking at each other. Oh, it's because I picked the gold up, that's why, you idiots, goes. So, you know, soul speed is going to be really useful, especially considering just how dangerous Salt Sand Valley is. You know, it's full of ghasts, crying obsidian. It's full of ghasts and other nasties, so being slowed down there by, you know, not being able to walk very fast on the soul sand, sorry, is really gonna be dangerous. Now, did I get the book I wanted? I did. Oh, soul speed 3 as well. Oh, you legend. So, and I've got some boots there as well. So, as you can see, you know, I am getting these things quite handily. It's not proven that difficult to get them now, and that is really good, because I think for me personally, I will be wanting these things quite soon after coming into the nether, just in case I have to, you know, cross one of these soul sand valleys. Look, we've got skeletons, we've got ghasts. It's just really not a very nice place to be. Right, so let's see what else this snapshot has to offer us. As you can see here, we've got a compass that is spinning around like an absolute madman. And for those who have been playing Minecraft for a while, no, you can't use compasses in the nether. Until now, that is. There is a new block here called a lodestone. And these lodestones are crafted using an ingot of netherite surrounded by chiseled stone bricks. That's the crafting recipe, and that will be on your screen now. And that will create this really pretty block that you can see in front of me here. And the way these things work is if you get yourself a compass that is spinning like crazy because we're in the nether, and you click on it, that will now point to that block in the same way a compass in the overworld would point towards your spawn point. So it may be useful to pair a lodestone up with a anchor, just so you can find your way back to your nether base. So no matter where I go, it's going to point there. And this will also work in the end, I believe. And you can use the same compass to click on different ones, but it will only lead the way to the last one that you clicked on. So that is really cool. And these, it's a shame they're so expensive to build with using netherite, really, because they're really pretty. And especially if you put them next to each other like this, you'd end up with a really cool floor design there. But yeah, no one will be doing that, especially in survival anyway. So I think it's a really good addition to the game, because we're obviously going to be exploring the nether a lot more in this next update, because we've got so much more here to do now, a lot more to see and all that kind of jazz. And for the first time ever, we'll be able to make our home here in the nether. Now you'll see those compasses are spinning. That's just because they're not yet linked up to anything. So yeah, we'll be able to make homes and stuff in the nether now, and that's something I think everybody is really excited for. And the next thing we're going to talk about is this stuff here. There is a new way to make it, and there's also been a change to polished basalt. So let's go and have a talk about that. So let's first talk about how we can now craft basalt, how we can make it. And this is done in a very similar way to how a cobblestone generator works, and you're probably familiar with that already. The mechanics are slightly different, but the setup is quite the same. I've just got a small channel here, and at one end I've got blue ice. So 1 block of blue ice, and then at the bottom I've got soul soil. It must be soul soil. And all I'm going to do is place a bucket of lava at that end. And when lava is flowing over soul soil and it meets blue ice, you get basalt. So if we wanted to farm this stuff, we would just need to just collect it each time. You know, just mine it every time it generates, and you will end up with a pretty infinite supply of basalt if you decide you like building with basalt. Nice and simple. Now, in the previous video, we talked about the new polished basalt and how to create that. You placed basalt into a furnace and you'll get the polished basalt. That has now changed. The way that you have to do it now, which is actually much easier, is to get your basalt and put it through a stone cutter, and you can get your polished basalt there. That is much quicker and easier than having to put it through a furnace and going through all that kind of kerfuffle. So what we're going to need to do now is go to the overworld, because there is another change that I need to tell you about in the overworld. And to be honest, with all this lava around, I am getting a bit sweaty anyway. So I'm going to go somewhere a little bit cooler. So I'll see you when I get there. Holy moly. When I said somewhere a bit cooler, I didn't mean like this much cooler. This is ridiculous. Feet are freezing. I've not... Where are my feet? Where are my feet? Hang on. Sorry guys, hang on. Ah, they're just in the snow. But why when I do... I digress. Another change in this snapshot is to do with farmers. And... Sorry, mate. Sorry. Right, so what farmers are going to do now, when they have excess seeds in their inventory, so a farmer like this, he's got lots of wheat, he's going to harvest all this wheat, and once his inventory is full and he's got excess seeds, he's then going to throw them in the composter. And then from there, he's going to generate bone meal, which he will then use on the crops to make the crops grow quicker. So for growing wheat, it's actually going to, you know, speed that process up. And another change as well, let me just bring in a mate for him here. You need to be a farmer as well, please. Come on. Be a farmer. I just made a baby one, haven't I? That's fine. So, normally, farmers that work with wheat... What, do I need another composter for this to happen? No, I'll have two. Normally, a farmer working on wheat will not throw wheat to other villagers. So you'll have seen the type of farms I've built in the past with carrots and potatoes and stuff, where there you go, see him there? He's making his bone meal. Good man. You're doing a good job. Now, hey, no, that's not... Excuse me a second. So in the past, you know, I make the carrot farms, and we use the mechanic where they throw their excess to their friend. Get out my face, pal. They throw their excess to their friends. But that would never work with wheat, because they would throw bread instead. They would never throw actual wheat. What's changing in this snapshot is that a farmer will throw wheat to another farmer. So we can now, you know, automate the wheat farming process, really. Which is exactly... Well, it's not exactly. It's something that's really, really cool. And it means that we can now pretty much fully automate all of our crops. With just a slight change. We would just need to make sure in a farm like this, where they're throwing the crops to someone else, that, you know, that other person is a farmer for them to receive the wheat and not bread. So that is something that I am really looking forward to using in my world. I was also planning on talking to you about fishing but I don't think this is the aha. Okay, so I'm not actually going to go fishing. It was mentioned in the previous snapshot about the changes that are being made to fishing, and more specifically AFK fishing, and how it is, due to the way it was, it's been abused a bit. And AFK fishing should never really have been a thing. It was just something people found, and it was a bit overpowered in that early game. You were getting all these amazing books and enchantments which were really a bit too advanced for your level in the game. So what they've done is they've changed the mechanics of fishing, where you will get treasures, and by treasures we mean things like the enchanted books and bows and rods and that kind of things. Hello, little fella. Now, they've added some extra guidelines as to what classes now as open water fishing, and it's to do with, you'll see the wording in the change log that I'll put down in the description, but it's to do with what surrounds the water block that your fishing hook is in. Are there blocks above it? Are there blocks below it? Are there blocks to the side of it? There was one change with lily pads. I think originally lily pads will count as a block to the side of it, and I think they've changed that. So it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of weeks, months, what have you, what people come up with. Are we going to be able to get a way around, AFK fishing, so people can still, AFK fish whilst they're making their cups of teas and eating their dinners and such like. So that will be interesting to see. So, beautiful people, that is all we have for today. As we've seen, this update is really coming together really nicely now, and I am so excited for this nether update 1.16. It is adding so much new cool stuff to the villagers are doing a bit of kissy we don't want to look over there. They're adding so much cool stuff to this game, and it's making the nether a much more important part of the game, and I can't wait to set up a base in the nether and use all the cool new stuff that they are adding to the game, as well as the mechanics they're changing in the overworld as well. Things like, with the farmers and some of the other stuff we've seen, even the AFK fishing, and how that's going to change the landscape for survival worlds, and how you get started and build up. Will it make the progression a bit more steady instead of people just starting and having these amazing, infinity bows and such within just a couple of days? That'll be interesting to see. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and then we will see you in the next video. What do you want me to throw at you today? Should we throw a villager egg? Yeah, I'll throw a villager. Her. Hold on a sec. Your beef. Yeah, you keep walking. Keep walking, pal. Right, so where were we? Oh yes, that's me back. Until the next episode, Scouse Mouse out.